think right now, yeah, every African parent has that, or family has that. I want my child to do this. I want my child to do that. I want my child to do. Like now, everybody wants their child to play football. See Ronaldo. Do you get?
Yeah.
And now they are seeing that okay, people are making it from modeling. People are making it from music, dancing. So now they are kind of laid back. I'm like, let them do what they want to do. But when it comes to core African parents, my pikin must be doctor. Huh. My pikin must do engineering.
Has the brain or not?
It's like they don't take time to look at this child and what does this child want. Coming from my own family here, I think the reason why I'm like this is because I was given that free will. Guy, do what you want to do, but make sure so your mama no cry. And I think that's the reminder for me. In as much as I know I have these traits in me, in as much as I know I have my negative side, negativity is also a bad trait.
Yeah.
I have a friend that whenever he comes around me, guy, Alpha, I want to do this business. What do you feel? Guy, no reason, I'm not reason. It don't make sense. Do you get?
Yeah.
Guy, Alpha, see that babe. No their relationship. I like that girl. Guy, no reason. I'm my last boyfriend. They be fighting anyhow. Like he's doing it subconsciously.
Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of CET. Here we say it the way it is.
Certainly. The Ugly Truth podcast.
Wow, it's been a while. I'm in the studio with
Abola Jerry Tope.
and I'm Hartwell. Well, today we'll be talking about toxic traits. Yeah, and it's a topic that has been on ground, like it has been happening, and so many people have not been taking note of it. So we are going to share more light about the toxic traits. So let's just go on.
All right. The sad truth about this trait is that you can possess it, and for a very long time you might not know. Like I feel more attention should be given to those things because the effect is not immediate; it occurs over time.
Yeah.
So I feel that's why it's being ignored. And personally, I feel toxic traits here, it has more effect on others than yourself because you're not even aware. Most time the problem is self-awareness. Like people are not aware they have those traits.
Wow.
There's a local saying or in pidgin that person wey shit for ground go forget, but person wey pack am give am 50 years, you go still remember say you pack shit.
Yeah.
So you giving out these traits here, you might not be aware, and but the other party is the one feeling it. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
So I just feel toxic traits are harmful stuff. From the name, from the word toxic, it is harmful to both you and to the person.
All right. Well, before we go on, let me make you understand toxic traits. Toxic traits, these are personality traits that are kind of toxic, or let me not use the word toxic, let me use the word harmful
Harmful, yeah.
to other persons and still to your own very self.
Okay.
And sometimes they are so they are not just actions. Like I said, they are traits, they are personality traits, and these personality traits evolve around all your actions, your belief system, your thinking pattern, and all of that. And this has a way of affecting a lot of things within you, within your environment, about yourself, and about every other person around you. So it's really a trait that we should pay attention to. And most of these traits are kind of so toxic to the extent whereby it can cause dangerous harms, especially when it talks on self-centeredness.
Yeah.
There are some people that are so, yes, these are one of the personality traits. There are some people that are so self-centered to the extent whereby it's caused a lot of greed, because they are just all about themselves. Another toxic trait you can talk about is
Being manipulative.
yeah.
Talking about being manipulative, I think that should be number one toxic trait ever for me.
Really?
Yeah, because why would someone want to manipulate someone else for his or her own benefits? Like it is deep. For me, it is spiritual. Like why would you want to do that, knowing fully well that what you're promising me is not what I'm going to get? It's just like telling you I love you, but I don't love you. I'm just saying I love you if you're a girl, yeah, but I don't love you. It's not like saying I love you, knowing fully well I just want to sleep with you. Like, it is deep. It has emotional, psychological, mental effects. And over time, you do this thing, over time, it becomes part and parcel of you. And you're not even aware you're manipulating others.
I think, like, for me,
Yeah.
the manipulative issue, sometimes to other persons, it can be a turn off. But I feel, I don't know, maybe other persons will throw more light on this in the studio. But I think that manipulative issue
Yeah.
has its good side
Why?
and its bad side. I don't know if you.
No, when I
if
say
you-
manipulating others, I'm talking about the negativity.
yeah,
I'm not talking about the positive side. No,
aspect. But still, yet there are some toxic shit that has
both bad and
kind
good.
of a bad side and a good side. I don't know if every other person is thinking like the way I do. Like,
Okay.
for instance, let's talk about this manipulative
Okay.
issue. Like, there are people that kind of they are manipulative very well in the aspect whereby it can emotionally blackmail you.
So is that a good thing?
It's not really
Not
a
really.
good thing, but when it has to do with your advantage in a place where, first of all, there's this saying that you come first.
Okay.
Do you understand? And when it has to do with manipulative a person whereby it keeps you emotionally balanced and not really.
Then probably you should not use the word manipulative. Yeah.
And you can't just deal with that because you are trying to bewil somebody out of his own will for your own gain. So you have to manipulate it.
But if we are both going to have a game, do you feel the word manipulative should be used?
I don't think so.
So I think if personally for me, if you use the word manipulative, I think it's just for one person's gain.
Yeah.
I feel the other party
it's not going to be.
Do you get?
Yeah.
Like when I hear the word manipulative, that's what comes to mind. I stand corrected. But when I hear the word manipulative, I just feel you're going to persuade me using everything I love to do something for you.
You see that aspect of everything you love. Someone can actually give you a parcel.
Yeah.
But not because you just like, let's say I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
Do you understand? In the firm, and I went to the firm and I see someone like a long time friend. Do you get? And I know this person, I've not been really communicating with this person.
Okay.
Do you get? But because I needed something from the person, I'll now have to act in a way whereby, or give the person something in a way whereby this person doesn't really need it.
Okay.
Do you get? But because of
You want something.
I want something. Do you understand? That's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
From that aspect.
Okay.
It's kind of manipulative, although, because it's at that point you needed something.
Okay. Or better still, if manipulating you doesn't have detrimental effects on you, I don't want to use the word manipulative.
All right.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So I'm talking about the detrimental effects where I am coming to you knowing fully where I want something else, but I'll pretend to like you and do everything you want. Immediately I get what I want, I leave.
Wow. All right. So guys, let's talk about our own personality traits using our own selves. So, what's your toxic traits?
This is very, 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 very hard to admit, but I think I'm rigid.
Wow.
And I think that, personally, I think that's a 4. Because everything, like in life, everything, when it comes to relationship, work, my day-to-day activities, I always plan out how I want it to be. So if you're coming to tell me, don't do it this way, well, there's going to be a problem with you. And especially in relationship, I think that's why. Let's leave that. Let's not say that.
I think we have to visit
No,
that.
let's not visit that yet.
Yes,
Yet.
okay.
Let's not put that out there yet. My babe might be watching that. So I think when it comes to relationship, I am quite rigid. I just want what I want. The way I've planned it out, let us do it that way.
So automatically you
Self-centered,
if you're
Don't use the
so
word
rigid,
self-centered. That's hot.
There's no
You're
way,
hurting my
there's no way
feelings,
we
bro.
can deal without putting that.
No, you're hurting my feelings, bro. Let's not do this.
It's part of your
Rigidity is rigidity.
no. It's part of your toxic traits, right?
No, self-centeredness, no, it's not.
Okay,
I am
all-
rigid. Use the word I am rigid,
But
yeah.
you're not self-centered.
I'm not self-centered. I look out for others. I look out for my woman.
All right. I think my own personality trait is
Yeah,
sometimes impatience.
sometimes.
Impatience.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Because not always all time. There are times I can be so patient.
Okay.
I can be very patient. And that time I can be quiet.
That's when you're patient.
When I'm patient, I can be very quiet.
So I don't think
Very
this is a toxic something that is toxic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
you're
said.
trying to bring yourself out in a very good picture.
No, not like bring my. That's why I said sometimes I can be very impatient. I can be so impatient. Like when I want a thing to be done, I want it to be done. Especially when I'm working with time.
Okay.
When I'm working, it's just like, okay, let's say I have a goal. I set this goal that by this time I should have hit this goal. You get, and getting to that aspect of time, I've not hit that particular goal I want. I cannot be patient with it.
Well, how do you think this your personality trait has effect on
Other
others?
person.
Yeah.
I mount pressures because I want this thing to be done within this period of time.
I think it's a good toxic trait.
For
If there's a
you.
word like that, good toxic.
You know that there are people that they can't work under pressure.
Yeah.
There are people that doesn't like pressure.
But not in Nigeria, though.
Pressurematic.
Because almost every job's come with, can you work under pressure?
The whole country is on pressure currently. So everything is.
Because even the country has its own. The country, the entire country is toxic.
So another of my toxic traits is I don't like working under pressure.
In as much as you think you're patient.
In as much, yeah. So don't pressurize me. I can do that to others, but I don't like that to be done to me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I have this these aggressions when it comes to that pressure on me, especially when you're too being expectant. You get, don't place me in that aspect whereby you're too being over expectant of something from me.
You can't work in Nigeria then.
It's not like just give me what you want.
And then give me your time. Like you do it under your time, with your own time.
I can work with it. I tell you, okay, I am good with it. If I'm not good with it, I'll tell you I'm not good with it. At first.
So how do you cope with people?
I've been coping with people. In fact, I give them my terms.
Okay, probably that's why they call you weirdo, yeah? Because you do things the way you want to do it, how you want to do it.
The way I want to do it.
So does that make you a weirdo?
I don't think so.
I think so, though.
For me, I feel it just keeps me balanced.
Being a weirdo?
Yes.
Okay, you admit you're a weirdo?
I don't want to admit that. But I feel it keeps me balanced, mentally balanced. So I don't try to. Because I think one of our major problem when it has to do with our toxic traits is it has a way of affecting our mental states.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So everybody is trying to gain its mental balance by drawing into his or her own toxic traits.
I'm with you, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's just like, for instance, when you know if you're going to do this, it's going to affect you mentally wise. Unknowingly, you don't know that this thing you're doing, you're trying to prevent it from affecting your mental state. So because of that, you just drain into your space of your toxic traits. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I'm trying to.
I'm trying
to understand what you're trying to say.
Okay. First of all, I said toxic traits. These are personality traits that are based on your thinking pattern, your belief system. Do you understand? And your actions. Okay. Now, it's first of all your thinking pattern before it downs into your belief system, and then it boils out to be your actions.
Sorry. So are you saying people that exhibit these things are self-aware or they are not?
That's why I say sometimes they are not.
Most times
they are not.
Okay.
And sometimes they are aware. It's already become a part of them. So it's hard for them to
let go.
To just
let it off.
They just tell you this is me. So they don't want to make you feel like, or make them feel that they are bad. Do you understand?
Okay,
so
I'm
just tell
you,
and this is who I am, but automatically this is a toxic trait. So that's why I said it has a way of affecting their mental state. So they are trying to dodge out of that mental state. So when they are trying to dodge out, they will retreat back into their toxic trait to bounce back.
Okay.
Do you get?
Yeah,
so now I feel it's kind of a mental issue than just their normal action. So if you are trying to deal with it from the action perspective, it's not going to work because it's already become their thinking pattern. It's already become their belief system. So dealing with toxic traits most times it's kind of problematic if you don't try to address it from their thinking pattern.
Yeah, I think the first thing to always do here is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, this trait, most of the time it has effect on the other party. It doesn't have huge impact on you. So you might not even be self-aware of what is going on. And I think that's like the major issue. It takes a lot for you to admit that.
You know, most boss.
Yeah.
Sorry for using that word, bosses.
I mean, boss though.
Boss.
Yeah.
Most boss in firms, companies, and all of that are the ones that have more of these toxic traits.
Mm. The boss is watching though.
No, like it's let's be serious.
Of
A boss
course.
is a leader, and if a leader has more of this toxic trait, what do you think is going to happen to the followers? So, and I think that's major problems why we are having problems in organizations, in businesses, and all of that, because most of the bosses are toxic.
Negativity, bringing in negative energy.
Do you understand? The vibes are too negative and all of
And
that.
then they're putting pressure on you.
And they'll put pressure on you. And I think that's why they don't get the kind of maximum results.
Result or respect?
Yes.
They get the results, but they don't get the respect. Because you make me feel I'm useless. I'm just working for you because I know how to do this. Yeah. So once I get this done, you pay me, we're done.
And I think most of them has it toxic traits of thinking that everybody is working for money. Yeah, it's true that everybody, but they shouldn't make it like everybody is self-centered.
They are more transactional than emotional.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't empathize with whoever is working for them.
So, what do you think about the toxic trait when it talks about
family? Like I said, I think right now, every African parent has that, or family has that. I want my child to do this. I want my child to do that. I want my child to do. Like now, everybody wants their child to play football. See Ronaldo. Do you get? Yeah. And now they are seeing that people are making it from modeling. People are making it from music, dancing. So now they are kind of laid back. I'm like, let them do what they want to do. But when it comes to core African parents, my pikin must be doctor. My pikin must do engineering.
Has brain or not?
Like they don't take time to look at this child and what does this child want. Coming from my own family I think the reason why I'm like this is because I was given that free will. Guy, do it you want to do, but make sure so your mama no cry. And I think that's the reminder for me. In as much as I know I have these traits in me, in as much as I know I have my negative side, negativity is also a bad trait. Yeah. I have a friend that whenever he comes around me, guy, Alpha, I want to do this business. What do you feel? Guy, no reason, I'm not reason. It don't make sense. Do you get? Yeah. Guy, Alpha, see that babe. I know their relationship. I like that guy. Guy, no reason, I'm my last boyfriend. They be fighting anyhow. Like, he's doing it subconsciously. But whenever he's around me, it is always negative energy. Guy, Alpha, more do this thing. Guy, you go fail now. You know how many people they do one for these streets. What do you think? Do you get? So
I think even in family, one of the most toxic traits I've seen is they are not supportive. Most families.
Thank God for my family.
A part of they are supportive, but I think to an extent.
Okay.
To an extent, and even this negativity vibes.
And it's subconsciously
in families. It's too much. Especially when you want to try to do a thing, you like. Especially when you didn't even tell them.
Wahala.
That's the problem.
Wahala.
They want you to always acknowledge them in anything and everything you do, and which is not possible. That's why they said there are things that are personal. When it has to do with personal, most people still don't understand that there's an aspect of your life that should be made personal. So they want to get involved.
For mama, we carry you for 9 months. How personal can it be?
A part of it, there are some issues that you just have to deal with it
yourself. Yeah.
Even if you tell them that, okay, this is what you're dealing with, they still doesn't have any way of helping you out.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I'm with you.
So there's no way of telling them when they cannot help you out. So you just have to work your way out of it, whether you tell them or not. So there's no need of telling them when it has to, especially when you're going to tell them and they are going to add more
to it.
So what's the essence of telling them? Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm with you, yeah.
So those vibes, the negativity coming from family is another toxic trait that I think people have to pay attention. And this is why.
But
African
parents are never wrong, yeah?
They are wrong. Especially in this
I'm saying there is that belief.
Yeah,
my mama my mother can never be wrong.
They don't believe they are wrong.
If I tell you it's not going to work, I mean she has seen it on the mountain, it's not going to work. Don't dare do it. If you do it, you're dead. And if it doesn't work.
That's true. There are so many parents whereby they feel they are never wrong.
Yeah, because they have a prophet. Let's not go there, but let's not go there. Right. Let's stick on the trade. But what do you think about friends?
Friends.
Yeah.
I think For me, for
Do you
me,
have any friend that has any negative traits?
I do have friends that have a lot of
Toxic
negative,
traits, yeah?
yeah. And when I figured out that okay, this is a toxic trait from this person, and I try to know if this person is doing it consciously or subconsciously. And when I figured that out, I think one thing I try to do is now I try to work on how I associate with those persons,
How you react
how I
to it?
react to those persons, because it's their toxic traits
Mhm.
and it's already become part of their personalities
Okay.
because they have been doing it for a very long time.
Okay, but how I think my question here is we are aware of this toxic traits here.
Yeah.
How do we help these people? Or better still, like I said, I'm very rigid when it comes to matters of life,
Yeah.
especially relationship. I'm sorry, babe. Well, how can you help me?
I think helping these persons out
Yeah.
is first of all treating it back to its roots.
But how do you know the origin of my problem? If
You know when you get to converse with people
yeah,
for a very long time, you will know where these things lies from.
but it's,
Why are they
okay,
like this?
sorry. You know it is. Or better still, let me rephrase. It is quite easy for you to tell me I am wrong. This thing is bad. Change it. It is very easy for. Well, how do I myself
Acknowledge.
come to the self-awareness that I am wrong? And
The way of pointing to somebody that the person is wrong also have an impact on the person taking it or not.
the way,
Yes,
like
way,
the methodology,
the
at least,
method.
yeah,
It's just like, for instance, somebody is doing a thing here right now, and I just badge in and I say, "Don't do this, don't do this. This is very wrong."
yeah.
Do you understand? And somebody's doing something right here that's wrong, and I come and I'm like, "Oh, you're doing this. Okay, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? Have you tried this? Do you know doing this thing like this? It's wrong."
You know, as she said this, I remember something. There was a girl I used to be with, and for a very long time, whenever I see her doing something wrong, regardless of where she is or who is there with her, I'll be like, what are you doing this? Do you get like, why are you doing this? Like, you should have been doing this. But it took like, so I think it was after we parted ways, I now realized the only way this girl was actually going to listen to me was if I sit, allow her do what she wants to do. Then when we get back home, I'll be like, babe, that what is very important. You see, the manner at which I come.
You
You
did
get-
not,
If I say,
yes.
why no? I'm like, babe, that thing you did. Really, that's the only time she would listen. So, like you said, methodology
Methodology of
is
talking
very,
to
very
them, the
important.
manners,
Yeah.
yes. Because so many persons are they have this kind of trait whereby you don't talk to them anyhow.
Wahala.
You don't talk to them
Wahala,
anyhow.
yeah.
Yes, because they don't. I'm part of those kind of persons.
Where do you?
If you want to talk to me, yes, just if you want to talk to me with manners and respect. I'm not just one trash. You should just come and talk to me anyhow. And all of that.
Especially in front of people.
Especially in front of people. And when you're trying to point out corrections, because most people they don't just come out to do anything. Do you understand? Some persons before doing anything, they have done their research. So you cannot just trash their time of research, time of stress and all of that, coming to tell them they are very wrong.
Okay.
Telling them they are very wrong, it's good. But what's the way out? That's what they want to hear, not we are very wrong. I don't know if you get.
No, I'm with you.
Because that's one of the problems many people have, telling people you are wrong and leaving them at that point without showing them the way out. So it's one thing to let them know you are wrong, and in a manner which they should understand that you are wrong. And it's another thing telling them you are wrong and pointing the way out. So it's just like I'm coming to tell you, just ask me being rigid yourself, and I'm coming to tell you being rigid is very bad. It's a toxic trait.
Yeah, but
and I didn't point a way out.
Yeah, to be very honest here, it took me quite a while for me to actually accept that I'm rigid. Now, talking about how personally I identify this as a toxic trait, it took me quite a while. Like, I was contemplating, no, I'm not rigid. How about, I'm a man, I should do this, I should not do this. Why should I listen to a random person that doesn't know what's going on in my head about how I should do this? Like, why is my girl telling me, Dave, don't do this? No, now. Like, it's all in my head, I know what I want. But I had to sit down and then accept.
After much. Because, there's this saying that when everybody complain about a thing, the problem is not them.
Yeah, exactly.
So if somebody's complaining about a thing for a very long time, I think you should actually take the time out and sit
And
down
think about it.
and think about it. That's because that's nobody changes you. Do you get? That's one thing most people out there should realize. There's nobody that changes you. You change yourself. You evolve yourself. Do you
By
get?
yourself.
By yourself. So no matter what anybody's going to tell you out there, they're only just doing you a favor by bringing you to the consciousness of that thing that exists. But they are not going to change it for you. You have to still sit back,
Yeah.
retrace back, and try to evolve around
Around it, yeah.
So the only way of people changing their toxic trait or helping anybody to change their toxic trait, the best anybody can do out there is to bring them to the consciousness. But nobody out there can
Accept.
change. Yes, nobody out there can change you of your toxic trait. It is a self habitual stuff. It's an action, it's a thinking pattern, it's a belief system. So there's no way anybody out there can
just
go
come
into
and
your
influence.
thinking,
Yeah,
understand? Can go into your thinking pattern, your belief system, and twist it. Do you get? So it's very hard. We just have to come to the extent of bringing you into the consciousness of it. But changing it, it has to be yourself. So I think, well, everybody out there, I really, really want you to put on your toxic traits in the comment section and add to what we're saying and let us know what is involved in this toxic trait, because it has affected a lot of people out there. It's affecting us, and we have our own toxic trait that's affecting people. And we are doing our best by evolving and trying to admit and see a way of getting our way around it. So, please.
By the way, I'm no longer rigid. I'm very flexible now. You can tell me what you want to tell me. I'll listen.
Yeah. So, what would be your advice to other persons out there?
Personally, like if you've been listening to me, self-awareness, talking about dealing with your own personal traits here, you need to come to the point of realization where you conclude and I am wrong. I have these traits. If you get to that point, the next thing is ask yourself, why do I do it? Why do I need to do it? If you can answer these two questions in all honesty, trust me, trait is gone.
Wow, I think that's
How about you?
Yeah, that's almost the same thing for me. You must come to that aspect where you realize consciously that
consciously.
this thing you're doing is very bad. Analyze the effects and the impact of it to other person's life. Sometimes life doesn't just revolve around you. Yes, life doesn't revolve around you. There are other
many
persons
persons
around
involved.
you, so that you have to pay attention to.
I mean, if there's nobody around you, these traits are not even toxic. You can just hurt yourself by yourself.
So and yeah, there are so many bad toxic traits to your own self that are still bad to other persons.
Exactly.
They have a way of influencing other persons' life. It's just like, for instance, somebody said, when I'm smoking, when I'm humanizing and all of that, it is. I'm doing it to my own self.
No, it concern anybody.
It doesn't concern anybody. But please, I should let you know that there's an extent you get to life, you become an influence over a certain generation.
Even the smell of a cigarette is harmful to me. Even the smell of a cigarette.
Even if you're doing it in a closed door environment, but just know that there's a height you're going to grow to, and you have influence over another generation. So that is going to be a toxic influence over them.
And the problem is that influence is even subconsciously. They don't even know they're looking up to know.
So you might think this thing you're doing, the toxicity of it is to your own self, but there's influence over it. You get to a certain stage whereby people look at you, and you don't need to come to advise them. They take the advice from your way of life. So I think my own advice is come to the consciousness of it and try to work your way out. That's just it. All right. We've come to the end of this episode on TUT. I want everybody out there to let's know your thought about this. Let's know what you think about this. Go to the comment section, drop your comments, like, comment, share, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And see you on the next episode. I'm
Tope Bolaji.
I am Hartwell. Bye.